Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the brand new Hot Toys Captain America Civil War, the Power Pose Iron Man Mark 46. Thank you to Sideshow Collectibles for providing this sample copy that we're going to be looking at today. The Iron Man Mark 46 Power Pose series figure does come with the much crucial display stand. I say much crucial because he is pre-posed. You won't be able to stand him on his own. So they do provide a display stand featuring Captain America Civil War. Below that, the Mark 46. The stand is something that we would be very familiar with seeing with the other Captain or the other Iron Man figures. Some lights or little exhaust ports on the sides. Nothing here lights up. It's just a standard display stand, the underside there. And then there is, of course, the tab point here that would connect to Iron Man. Unfortunately, it connects to Iron Man via the little hole on the underside of his armor here. Peg's very simple into place. A peg certainly could have worked. I favor almost more so magnets. Like, I think a magnet could have also worked too. Not to say that you couldn't necessarily, you wouldn't be seeing the hole in which the entry point is. Pegs, I always worry over time, could eventually break if the Iron Man was to be banged or anything like that. A magnet certainly could have gone a long way, but understanding the nature of what this stand has to serve as, you know, it makes fine sense that, you know, it would just peg right into the undercarriage there of Iron Man. Now, excluding the display stand, excluding also the pole that connects to Iron Man, the figure stands at just over 12 inches in height. He is a gorgeous looking piece representing the Mark 46 from Captain America Civil War, so you got some really nice dark cranberry reds mixed up again with the golds and the silvers. It's one of my favorite armors because the Mark 46 goes back to the more tried and true color scheme that we've seen with the Mark III and some of the earlier Iron Man filmed suits. What I do also really like about this particular suit is it's streamlined. It's got much more paneling to it as well, but what I really like is that sleekness to it. It's got a sleek, almost more fitted to his body suit than some of the more bulkier suits that we've seen before. I guess we can get his articulation out of the way because it's very minimal. Just move the stand over to the side. He does have just a swivel in the arms. It's clever though that when you swivel the arm, he's got a back flap, and actually works on both ends there that move up and down to clear not only the arm but to give you some extra little more displaying cool factor to it when you rotate the arms. His hands rotate solely on just a peg that attaches to them. And he does have a couple of interchangeable hands. I'll show you that in a second. And then lastly, he's got just a ball joint head. The head moves up and down and also just slightly left to the left and right. That's about all you're really going to get in it. Now there's also wiring that's running through the whole, essentially through most of the body, basically from the torso up. So the limitations to the head I can certainly understand because the way everything's going to be lit. Some really nice details here on the suit itself, even like the silver. That doesn't make the most predominant display here on the figure, but really nice silver on the interior portions of the suit and little areas where essentially all the areas that the suit would expand and move. And that's a little bit of silver carries down all the way down to the feet. There's the bottom portion of him. Now he does light up. He has 28 LED lights. The only areas that actually don't light up on the Mark 46 is the soles, the undersoles of the feet. I wish that they could have lit up, especially due to the fact that the suit is levitating. A little bit of light could have gone a long way, but I'll show you where all the light aspects of the suit will be in a second. Again, nice detailing on the faceplate here. The faceplate is not removable, so there's no Tony Stark face underneath that. Love the that ruby red, cranberry red that they use. Of course, the arc reactor in the interior there. I like also that it's got a V shape. I mean, really, a lot of what I'm touching base on is more based on the design, but I think Hot Toys has really been able to take those essence points of the design and translated it here to the Power Pose figure. Because this figure also doesn't have any posability, well, other than the arms and the head that we've already looked at, he is light. He's obviously more to the plastic material than he is to the die cast that the regular 6 scale release of the 46 was. To access his battery compartment, by the way, it's this panel right here. Now, I found the easiest way to get to the panels, make sure that the arms are flat, and then you want to just kind of go in right where the silver aspects, the silver areas of the suit are, and just kind of get your finger in there, pop either side off. There we go, and then you can just pop that right off. I've already gone ahead and I've taken the liberty of taking the battery plate off. It would basically just be looking like that. And it comes with 6 button cell batteries. Those batteries, by the way, are included with the Mark 46. And then you got your on and off switch at the top here. I'm always a little apprehensive when it comes to the fact that tabs are being used for the back plate. I wish that a magnet could have been used instead. But we just pop that back into place, and now we can have a look at all the light up features on this figure. So this guy will give you 28 LED lights, and you can hopefully see where all those lights are. There's 2 on the shoulder, there's 2 around the lower waist portion. Oh, and of course 2 right up the under area, right underneath the flaps here. He's got light ups on the arms. On the front, there's a multitude of different lights, some in the waist, abdomen area, at the side of the rib cage, right at the top where the shoulder blades were, and of course the arc reactor, and you've got the area around the eyes. The only areas that aren't being shown right now is the hands, and that will involve, of course, switching out to the accessories. Cue the segue to the accessories. He does come with a pair of interchangeable hands as well, showing you the repulsor blast. And to accomplish that, we're just going to go ahead and wiggle the hands off the ball joint. So it's not really even a ball joint, it's a peg point really. And find the appropriate hands. Now these hands are angled. Make sure, of course, when you are putting the hands in place, you are putting them in place with the intent that the hands are going to be angled. And then you've got the repulsor light now showing through the hands. It's much easier to show you where all the lights are on the Mark 46 by cutting the lights. And you can see even like there's lights right at the very side of the armor, something that was not as easily to be able to be shown with the lights on. But there's a lot of lights on this guy. I'm actually quite surprised. And of course the very bright lights projecting from his eyes. What I like that they've also been able to do too is the batteries, the 6 button cell batteries that we've already put into the back, lights up everything. It doesn't involve additional lights that you have to put into, or additional batteries that you have to put into the arms, which is sometimes one of the more problematic aspects of the 6 scale Iron Mans. To light up repulsor blasts, you have to take battery plates off arms. Then you've got the areas for the chest, you have the areas for the head. In this case, because everything is kind of in a non-posable sense, putting batteries in, it's basically lighting up everything. I really like that because it involves very little effort, especially if you're someone like myself that doesn't end up keeping batteries in the figures. Taking the battery plate off, changing and just pulling out those 6 button cell batteries, it's going to cut the lights on everything. And I don't have to then go in, change the batteries on the arms, change the batteries perhaps on the feet, change the batteries on the head. Everything will do it. One aspect that may sour some collectors is the idea that he is pre-posed, that you can't get any posability from him. But I would argue the point that for the price that this guy is going to be, and he's currently on pre-order, he's looking at a $189.99 price point. That's how much this guy is going to be. For $189, and the fact that you don't really have much posability to speak of for this guy, I think is fine, because if you look at other statues on the market range from about a $100 to $200 price point. It is also in a more affordable means that if you just want this guy as a display piece, you may not necessarily want to shell the $300+ for the die-cast version of this guy. Sure, granted, will have the additional posability options available to him and adds some extra bells and whistles and an interchangeable face, but if you want solely just a statue, something that you can admire, look at the sculpt, look at the beautiful paint on him, I think I like the option of having a pre-pose version, a power pose version of the Mark 46, and then the regular released die-cast posable figure. It gives you the option that you don't necessarily, if you're just that guy that puts this guy in a cabinet or puts this guy on a shelf, as you see right here, I think a power pose version of this guy is really what you're going to be looking for. And then if you are somebody that goes in and likes to move the limbs, likes to pose it any which way that you want, then you've got the die cast option of getting a regular 6 scale figure. I really like the fact that they give you the power pose option and they give you the 6 scale option. They haven't done it really with all the Iron Man suits, but this gives you the option then to go with either or. So, like I said, this guy is going to be a price point of $189.99. He's currently on pre-order with a shipment date around April to May. So within the next little while, you'll probably start seeing this guy shipping out if you've already had a chance to pre-order him. If you haven't had a chance to pre-order the Power Pose Mark 46, what are you waiting for? You can head over to Sideshow Collectibles and you can pre-order this guy today. The Power Pose release of the 46 is a great option for people and collectors that just want to display an Iron Man without maybe necessarily spending the additional for the die-cast release of this guy. Sure, of course, he doesn't have the posability and doesn't have some of the bells and whistles that the more expensive die-cast release of this guy did have, but I think the Power Pose gives you everything that you want if you want just a really cool posed Iron Man. Today we were checking out the brand new Hot Toys. This was the Power Pose Iron Man Mark 46. If you guys like what you see in this video and want to join this channel, you're a subscribe button click away from being part of this community and checking out the other videos that are happening on this channel. There's also a playlist as well, so if you guys are into Iron Man, there's probably going to be a playlist just for you. I'll see you guys next time.